Hi everyone, welcome, and by the way, thank you for watching my uh, last video. And if you haven't watched it yet, you may check that one in my profile. Uh, by the way, this part 2 of the series of the videos that I'll be posting with regard to the topic end of time or end of times. Uh, Having said that, let me start with a passage coming from Hosea. Hosea is an Old Testament prophet of God. And in Hosea chapter 6, 1, 2, or chapter 6, verse 1 to 2, it states here that, come, let us return to the Lord. He has torn us to pieces, but He will heal us. He has injured us, but He will bind up our wounds. In verse 2 said, after 2 days, He will revive us, and on the third day, He will restore us that we may live in His presence. Now, Prophet Hosea was using days, and how does it relate to us in the present? And by the way, take note that Jesus Christ uh, came back to life after 3 days. And we might use that one as well in forecasting or predicting his return. And take note also that uh, the real reason why we study history is that for everyone to know what's gonna happen. I mean, what happened in the present is because of the past. So we need to study the past so that we will know the present and maybe perhaps or maybe in the future. Now, having said that, we might as well know when did Jesus die. And most of the historians, theologians agree that Jesus died on 30 AD. And some people also uh, believe that it was on 33 AD. Now, regardless of that period, because uh, again, majority of the historians believe that it was on 30 AD at the age of 33. But if we use the time period of 33, maybe his age was 36. So between 33 to 36 years old. And between 30 AD to 33 AD. Now, let us use 30 AD because majority of all historians, theologians, they believe that it was on 30 AD. So, uh, 30 AD was the death of our Lord Jesus Christ. And what does it relate to us in the present and in the future? Now, uh, with regard to the passage from Hosea, again, he is using 2 days and 3 days. So, he said, after 2 days, he will revive us, the people, and on the third day, he will restore us so that we may live in his presence. And again, that's what I've said. Jesus came back to life after 3 days. And let's check it out if we can use that pattern for us to know uh, the real time. I mean, not really the exact time, but the season of his second coming. Now, on 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 8 states that, with the Lord, a day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day. So see, Prophet Hosea was using days. In in 2 Peter 3:8, it affirms, not really it affirming, but saying that a day in the eyes of God is like 1,000 years in His Word, and 1,000 years are like one day in the eyes of God. Now let me borrow also a passage coming from Psalm 90, chapter 90, verse 4. It states here that 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by. So again, it affirms, no? It affirms the idea of the prophetic parallelism of time. Now, what happens when Jesus died? In Luke 21:24 states here, they will fall by the sword and will be taken as prisoners to all the nations. Jerusalem will be trampled and on by the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles are fulfilled. So when Jesus died, the scattering of the Jews began. So during that time, Israel was trampled into pieces, as what is being stated in Hosea chapter 6 verse 1. All the Jews, and in fact the Israel doesn't have any government since then until 1948, when Israel restored its own government. And take note that the prophetic parallelism of that is that 1948 is part of the second day. Second day is the time when Jesus revived the nation of Israel. He revived the Jews. So that was on the second day. Now, on the third day, said, on the third day, He will restore us so that we may live in His presence. Now, when we look at the time period since Jesus died on the cross, let's say, for example, it was on 30 AD, as what most theologians and historians would say. 30 AD to 1030 AD was the first day. And take note that on the first day, it just happened that the Jews, the people of Israel, was trampled. And in the people of Israel, the Israelites, was invaded by so many invaders. Now, on second day, since one day is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are like a day, on the second day, so it may start on 1030 to 2030. So the revival of the Jews happened already on 1948. Now, this is very crucial, my friends, because on the third day, that's gonna be restoration. So meaning, He will come again on the third day so that we may live on His sight, in His presence. And from 30 AD to 1030, 1030, it is one day. From 1030 to 2030, it's second day. And take note, my friends, that the beginning of the third day would start at 2030 to 3030. So what does it mean? That means to say that Jesus is coming very soon, because He is coming. He will come on the third day. So when will be the third day? The third day will start at 2030 until 3030. So my friends, we better think of it, and we better study and focus on the heavenly things rather than the earthly things, because what happens now is basically a testament of his return. And in my next video, I will be stating there the signs of his coming. And I hope you will continue to watch my videos, and thank you and God bless.